Senator from Georgia.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask unanimous consent that following my 5 minutes that the distinguished senator from New Hampshire, Ms. Shaheen, be introduced for 5 minutes. And following Ms. Shaheen, the distinguished whip of the Republican Party, Mr. Cornyn, be introduced.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I come with a labor of love to the floor of the United States Senate tonight. We're talking about confirmations of people for secretary positions on the cabinet of the new president. We're talking about all kinds of things, but you know, we're in a budget period of time. We're talking about this year having two budgets, one we're going to use early and one we're going to use late. But the truth of the matter is, since 1980, we haven't passed all 12 appropriations bills in a year, but twice. In other words, in the last 37 years, we've only twice done our job that we ought to do every year. So 2 years out of 37 we did it, 35 years we did not do it. I'm joining with the distinguished senator from New Hampshire, a great governor of that state and now a great member of the United States Senate, to propound for the third Congress in a row an idea that's so simple and so great that it works, and it works for all the American people. It's called the biennial budget process. What it does is it embraces a discipline for how you budget to bring about the right solutions in terms of what you do budget. What the biennial budget process does is says this: you know, we would be far better off if we had more oversight of spending, more authorization of projects, and more discipline in the way we spend the money we're already spending before we start appropriating more. Therefore, in every even-numbered year, we ought to do oversight of our spending, and we ought to do accountability in our spending process, and we ought to do no appropriations. In our odd-numbered years, the non-election years, that's when you appropriate. So every other year you're spending, and then every other year you're doing accountability. What that causes is the cream to rise to the top. All of a sudden, in 1 year, instead of departments coming to say we don't have time to oversight, we got to authorize more, they come to you and say, here's how we spent our money, here are the savings we have found, here's how we want to move forward in a more efficient way. It's a little bit like my kitchen table and my family. All the way through my 49 years of marriage, my wife and I and our kids have sat around the kitchen table, decided on what our family priorities were, from our vacation to our jobs, and then budgeted our money for that year for that purpose so we could pay our bills, enjoy the time we had together, and end up not being broke at the end of the year. What happens when you don't do that and you're a government is you end up knowing $19 trillion and don't know how to pay for it. And we cannot continue to spend at the escalated rate that we're spending without more accountability on the process. So I think the biennial budget process is the right way to go. Now, there's some documentation for that. The distinguished senator from New Hampshire was the governor of a state that had a biennial budget. But 19 of the 50 states have biennial budgets already. And they work fine. And they give them the luxury of doing what we don't do in Washington. They give them the luxury of having the time to study their appropriations, find savings in existing taxation before they start raising anybody's taxes or appropriating any more. It's a simple, disciplined way to go about the business of spending the people's money in the same way they make their determination. You know, I ran a pretty large company for 19 years and was in business for 35 years before I came to Congress. And I know that running a business is hard, but it's not hard because it's complex. It's hard because it's tough. And prioritizing your appropriations is tough business. But somebody has got to do it, and the people elect the Congress of the United States to do that job. So I'm proud to join Senator Shaheen on the floor today and urge all members to vote for a biennial budget process in the Congress of the United States. And I remind everybody in the room that we had this vote a few years ago as a test vote on an all-night vote-a-rama on the budget. And we got 72 votes, if I remember correctly, in favor of the biennial budget. We've had fast budget committee chairmen vote in favor of the biennial budget. We've had people from the majority and the minority vote on for it. In fact, the fact of the matter is, it's a good idea whose time has come. So I am pleased to join Senator Shaheen from New Hampshire and plead to the members of the United States Senate, let's do what we ask the American people to do. Let's prioritize the way we spend our money, find savings where they can, and run a more efficient, more honest government and a more transparent government for all. I yield to the distinguished senator from New Hampshire.